Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Yep, we've got more news already, so let's get straight to it. The very first thing that I want to show you guys is from Nanmu. We have an image here that kind of shows off quite a few different angles of their upcoming saltwater crocodile figure that is going to be a part of the Smart series. Definitely something I personally am very much so looking forward to. I love crocodiles, and having a super articulated version from Nanmu is going to be pretty epic overall, so figure is looking great already. Can't wait to find out more about it as time goes on and we get closer to its actual pre-order. Also, Nanmu had shared some images of the upcoming Smart Series Spinosaurus, showing off not only some of the angles, but also the beautiful paintwork and some pretty interesting images that they had created here, but I think both versions are fantastic. Of course, the JP version looks incredible, but the alternate version as well looks great, and the pre-order is right around the corner for these beauties. Also, when it comes to Haolonggood, they had shared a few more images of their upcoming bronze painted version of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You can see it looks really nice. The paintwork is gorgeous. I would say it's probably their best T-Rex that they've released so far. Maybe not quite as exciting color-wise as the last few, but still really nice and natural looking and quite intimidating with the big bulky presence it has. And from what I've learned, they are going to be releasing these statues in the sort of painted version you see, as well as the full bronze version, so you'll have your choice as far as which version you would like to pick up. Then when it comes to Dino Dream, they had shared these images of their upcoming D-Rex, giving us a look at what the painted version is going to look like, and I think it looks absolutely incredible. Definitely hoping to see the final product looking as good as this, because I think they really nailed the colors and paintwork of the D-Rex quite nicely, and is by far the best version of this creature that you can find on the market anywhere. I could tell that much just by looking at these images, so no idea when the pre-order for that one is coming, but I am definitely looking forward to it. And then when it comes to Mattel, we actually have some new reveals. A thank you has to go out to both Perry CN as well as David Solano for these images, but they definitely look like they're creating some pretty interesting figures for this upcoming wave of Jurassic World Survival. First of all, we have the Wild Roar Ceratosaurus, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually really like this figure. I think it looks super cool, the colors look nice, and the giant horn on the snout is pretty darn awesome. But what's cool is these new Wild Roars actually have a light up feature, which you can see in this image, and it looks really cool with the light up feature. I actually wish that was just like how the straight up coloration was, because I think it looks fantastic, but I'll very much so be looking forward to getting some of these in hand to really check out this new light up feature that these figures have. There's also the Afrovenator, and this one looks very cool as far as the sculpt goes. Again, at this point, I'm definitely not expecting any kind of scientifically accurate dinosaurs from Mattel at any point in the near future, as they're going more and more stylized, it seems, as time goes on, but this one looks pretty cool. Maybe not quite as impressive when it comes to the fine detail in, like, the face and stuff, but it's hard to tell, really, from these images. I guess we'll have to wait until we see it in person, but it's quite the interesting take on this species, again, with the light-up feature, and a pretty cool color scheme. I actually really quite like the colors. Of course, I wish more of it had run out onto the tail, but it is what it is, I guess. And then we've got a really cool looking figure, and definitely one of the most exciting for the upcoming Jurassic World Survival line. We have a Brachiochenius, and this thing looks awesome. I love the sculpt of this. Very impressive when it comes to that. The paint apps as well are pretty decent, not anything really to go crazy over, but they look nice enough. And again, the figure does have another light up feature, which is quite interesting, but I always think Mattel just hammers out some of the coolest marine reptiles. I don't know why they're just so good at it, but this one looks excellent. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. And then we also have a Pteranodon coming, and as you can see, this one looks pretty cool. Definitely looks like it's a newly sculpted Pteranodon, and a pretty decent paint application on this one as well. And then we also, of course, have a light up feature for the Pteranodon as well, so definitely a decent looking Pteranodon, but we've had so many in the past, it's kind of hard to get really excited about this one, but it looks alright. Also, want to thank you guys to go out to Plush Boy Q, but there is also a brand new 12-inch basic Suchomimus coming, and I think this one looks really cool as well. Again, if you've seen my reviews of the 12-inch basics, you'll know I'm a pretty big fan of those figures, so definitely looking forward to seeing this one and getting it in hand at some point in the near future. And then we also have a look at the upcoming larger versions of the Dino Reveal figures, and I must say, they're definitely interesting. So we do have a Concavinator coming in the line, and it's a pretty nice looking Concavinator, and honestly, I like the colors both ways. It's going to be kind of sad to switch this one over, and I can see me buying two of this figure just to keep one in the original form. But what's crazy is, as you can see from the image, you can actually have it like, halfway through and keep it that way as well, it looks like. So, this one's a tough one. You really have to decide what route you want to go with as far as the colors for this figure, but I think it looks honestly very cool the entire way through. And then the other one we have is the Orcoraptor, and they really did a good job of giving this one a pretty cool look. And not only a cool look, but a significantly different look from the previous version they had released. But again, sculpt-wise, I think this thing looks awesome. I would love to get this one just to repaint on its own, but pretty cool colors on this one as well. I think the actual paint applications on these Dino Reveal figures are a little better than what we see on the smaller ones. Still not fantastic, but really cool either way. Again, whether you keep it in its original form or go ahead and run it to the new coloration, I think it looks quite nice. So very excited for these upcoming Dino Reveal figures, and I am absolutely hoping for more of these in the near future, especially if we're going to get new sculpts in this line as well. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.